And welcome into KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. We've got a Region 4 special for you coming up today as the American Fork Cavemen prepare to take on their region rival, the Lone Peak Knights. Thank you for joining us, everyone. My name is Dane Stewart. Pleased to be joined by Scott Kellner. Scott, this is a dynamic rivalry in pretty much every sport, but a lot on the line here as we're wrapping up region play for both of these two sides. We should have a good one here this evening.
I'm really excited to be here with you, Dan. Thank you so much for including me. Yeah, great teams, great evening, great night. It's senior night here at Lone Peak High School. I'm really excited to see how these teams come out and play.
You know, American Fork, they come into this one, such a great start to the year. 8-3, 2-2 in Region 4, coming off losses to Westlake and Corner Canyon. But this defense has been really stout, and we've got a chance to see a really great player today in the senior Tate Fisher for American Fork.
Yeah, I think if American Fork wants to compete in this game, we really need to see Tate play at a high level. We also need to see Chaz Mooney, number 19, play at a high level. This Lone Peak team is very physical on ground balls, and so I think if American Fork wants to stay in the game, they need to try to out-physical Lone Peak, and I think they can do that possibly by dominating at the face-off X. Right, American Fork is winning about 55% of their face-offs. That's a little bit better than Lone Peak, so that should give them an edge.
You know, it's funny because American Fork had a great face-off last year in Bazant. He graduated and thought, oh, yeah, they'll take a step back face. No, they're still winning, more than half of them. They're still really strong from the spot. And look, for Lone Peak, you mentioned it's senior night tonight. A lot of emotions there. This is a very balanced Lone Peak squad. 3-1 in region. An impressive win coming from behind to get the victory over Westlake this week. That's why this game is so pivotal for both sides. Lone Peak in the home whites, AF in the road red, and we are underway here from Lone Peak High School as the opening face-off controlled by American Fork. Bennett Fillmore coming ahead here with the Cavemen. He'll toss this into the corner. Wakefield working back out. Both these two defenses, boy, they got a lot of games where they do not allow double-digit goals. I feel like tonight, the defense, whatever offense can get to 8 might be the one that wins as that shot deflected doesn't make its way through.
I like that American Fork is attacking early. I think that's a good way to get momentum going. Sometimes on offense, you can be a little timid at the start of a game. American Fork's on the road. Glad to see them go into the cage early.
Well, the clock you see on your screen, unofficial. At times we'll stop it early, start
nice
late.
Takeaway check there by number 15.
Fisher trying to get back on that and does. That pass disrupted. Picked up by Gifford for Lone Peak. Pushed into the corner here. Should mention starting goalies tonight. This is Hudson Faint, the junior, for Lone Peak. Meanwhile, for American Fork, you've got the senior Daniel Gould. We saw him earlier this year. He's had some big games for American Fork as Lone Peak pushing ahead here with Dahl.
Oh, that was a nice takeaway check there by number 87 for American Fork.
Might have been 27.
Maybe
Ethan, Genesee.
Two good takeaway checks to start the game.
American Fork coming away with it. Here comes Beeman. Well, that's a threaded pass there. Just a touch behind Wakefield. Boy, no give up here by American Fork, Scott.
So far, they're competing on ground balls and loose balls and just need to clean up some of these passes.
The Region 4 finale for each of these sides. 1 game separation. Fisher works his way around the shot
beauty.
And the goal. First goal of the game to American Fork and Tate Fisher.
Tate Fisher has really been a strong player. He has 39 goals on the season, 6 assists. He's really the leading point scorer for this American Fork team.
Yeah, that'd make it an even 40 on that look for Tate. So, boy, good finish. And, it was one of the things that Coach Tucker talked about before the game. He said, we know he likes to go to his left. That little step around there, and that left treated him well.
Yeah, started to the right, came back to his strong hand. Put it right over the goalie for Lone Peak.
Back to the face-off. Oh, I thought American Fork was going to get it. You were on that, Scott. American Fork here with possession. Fillmore. So play this back with Wild. Fillmore again. Oswald handing to Fisher. Big windup. Boy, painting the top corner. 2 early goals for American Fork, both to the senior Tate.
That was Lone Peak slid adjacent there. They thought that the attackman was going to come around the crease, so Tate Fisher's defender kind of slid down to show, and it freed up Fisher for a nice time and room shot, put that top right corner, and nice ball movement and attack so far from American Fork.
That's great shot placement, too. Low to high there for Tate, right over the shoulder in the corner.
Off stick side, so the goalie has to come all the way across to save it. That was a nice shot, nice finish by Fisher. 2 goals on the day already for Fisher.
And another face-off win here for American Fork. Scott, you talked about that in the opener.
Well, I think when you're playing a team that's really physical, your friend is time of possession. And so I think the longer that they can keep the ball in their stick, avoid unforced turnovers like that, the more that they'll be able to control the outcome of this game.
Ryder Christensen with it here, the senior. And the hard thing is how, I know we're just a couple minutes in, but how premium is each possession? It kind of get that sense early on here tonight.
Well, there's a flag down on the field, too. I'm not sure what the call was, if it was offsides or what exactly it was.
Back in the middle.
But, I think you always want to come out strong, especially on a big night like senior night, and especially when you're playing on the road. It's important to come out with energy, come out with a plan, and capitalize on those opportunities early. American Fork's done that so far.
Lone Peak working this around. Clough pushed out. Cam trying to spin around there. AF defense really moving here. Back with Christensen. Here's Christofferson from behind goal. Good cover there by Clough. Boy, not a lot of room. Kept outside, caught there by Gould, and now we'll get that call from that penalty.
Yeah, it was a free play. Whenever there's a flag down and there's a turnover or a change of possession, it's essentially a free play. American Fork will retain possession, and we'll get a look at their Lone Peak will retain possession, and we'll get a look at their man-up team.
Did look like the call was offside there, so just a 30-second technical here. So first man-up opportunity.
It's always important when you're on man-up. The ball moves faster than your feet, so the key to a good man-up team is quick ball movement. Good look inside there to number 9.
Yeah, that was Denny.
Denny.
That one hit off the post. Came ricocheting out.
The defense wants to try to stay tight and compact. You move the ball around fast. You can find those spots. You can find those soft spots in the middle like they just did with Denny a moment ago.
And how about the length of Ed Card? It looked like he had that angle shot and that length, able to get back and take away the lane. Good defensive work. Pushed up here with Tucker.
So the penalty's been released. We're back to all even.
Tucker will play this back up top with Christofferson. He got around. The shot there is wide. And American Fork going to win it. Good chase there by Gould to win it for the Cavemen.
You love to see the goalie hustle for those end-line shots, for those end-line balls. That was the number one thing that our coach would yell at the attack about, is not backing up shots. It's really your job as an attackman is to make sure that shots are being backed up.
Ooh. Oh, boy. I don't know how that made its way through, but Squire was there for American Fork and then gave it away. Seth Dahl coming away with it. Dahl around Fillmore. Bennett trying to retreat. Dahl still on it end-to-end here. Seth looking for the shot and taken away by Gould.
Great save by Gould.
We were talking before the game. Oh, how about that check? Jarred it loose. AF back on it. Said Gould was great against PG. Was interested to see if he could keep that up here tonight. Approaching the midway point here in this first quarter. Taken ahead here by Fillmore. We talk about two defenses that have been stout. Lone Peak comes into this having scored double-digit goals in 5 of their last 6 games. Have yet to score here in the opening quarter. Fillmore. Work this back.
Nice
Good
disruption.
Job. Yeah.
That was
Fisher,
number 15.
Yeah, and Fisher tried to get the shot there. Could not. It was Ashton Gifford with that deflection.
Set the all again, going down the near side.
Fillmore, the shot and
nice.
the goal. First non-Tate Fisher goal. This one scored by Bennett Fillmore for American Fork, and it's 3-0. Wow. Good look there for Bennett.
Yeah, I like to see middies that can dodge downhill. That's exactly what Bennett did. He got high. He took his guy down the alley, got a little bit of separation, well-placed shot, and got it past the keeper.
Another face-off. Momentarily won. I thought it was going to be won by American Fork. Instead, it's Broussard coming out with it for Lone Peak. Oh, nice pass right in front, and it hits iron again.
That was 51 with the shot, Ryan Christofferson.
Yeah, good look. He's one of their top goal scorers. In fact, the top goal scorer, has 30 goals on the year. That one just missed. That's probably the closest they've been able to get to Gould in the cage, speaking of Lone Peak. Sent out here with Tucker. Now back up with Emmett Fenton.
Good defense there by number 35.
Yeah, watch him push it out. That's a great job there by McMurray.
That's the hardest position on the field, Dane, is the short stick D-midi. You just expect it to get beat all the time, but Dane didn't there.
Christensen.
Wow.
That's a great line. Another save made here by Gould. And American Fork again able to win it. Cavemen look dialed in here early, Scott.
It seems like they're playing well on defense, playing well on offense. Doing a decent job clearing the ball here.
Yeah, here's space for Squire. Right in front. Oh, and a
nice
kick save. Boy, Feint with his best save here in this first quarter. Fisher tried to skip across. That plucked out of the air. An air ball turned into a ground ball, and the whistle here will give it to Lone Peak. No, did they change that? Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. I think he pointed the wrong way.
Yep.
So it'll stay American Fork ball.
And they'll bring on Fillmore here as he'll gather it now. Been impressed with Bennett today. He does have the goal, but he's felt very active and engaged.
He seems kind of like he's sort of the initiator for a lot of the offense. The ball tends to start with him as they're running their sets, and kind of like a point guard in basketball.
Yeah, he gets called on that one. He'll give it to Lone Peak, and the Knights now on the run with Brinton. Jackson winding up the bounce shot, and Gould able to track it as well. I'm telling you, Daniel Gould loves KSL Sports Rewind. That's...
And the outlet pass, the quick outlet pass to the breaking defender upfield was also, it was a nice save, but also a great, I always thought that was a important, underrated aspect of goalkeeping is you need to be able to make saves, but you need to be able to be smart with clears too and make quick outlet passes, and Gould is showing both of those things so far.
Well, I mean, how many times do you see, a goalie attempting to clear and bad pass gets broken up, decision. And now you got, numbers the other way, and
you can really, a lot of times, a good goalie can create offense off of a save with good outlet passes. Here goes Bennett again.
Yeah, Fillmore pushed wide. He'll work back to X here with Oswald. AF is just long, aren't they?
They are long. Yeah, they're long and they're strong. They're long and strong. Good size, great size. Talking to my friend Colin Madsen, who's the head coach at Olympus, was talking about the size on this Lone Peak team, and I can definitely notice it up here in the booth. Oh, nice look.
Yeah, they try to get that right in front. Good idea is the over and back here. Bring it back. If you're Lone Peak, I mean, they've drawn iron a couple times. Scott, what are you looking here to try to get some offensive rhythm?
Well, it does seem like they're struggling to find a rhythm. It seems like they're having a hard time knowing, who to get the ball to, what kind of set they're running. I'd really like to see them get, the ball into the hands of Logan Tucker or some of these other guys, Tyler Denny, some of these other guys that are leading point scorers, and try to get them some easy ones, maybe try to run some plays, try to get them moving off ball. And it seems like they're having a hard time really finding when to initiate their offense, how they're doing it. But I mean, this is a good position. Bad passes, kind of forces into the middle, that lead to turnovers.
Well, and it just feels like everything's outside for them,
Yeah.
right? They really haven't been able to get inside that AF defense.
You got to draw a slide. Somebody's got to beat somebody and draw a slide, and they're having a hard time figuring out who can do that.
Denny able to work around that initial check. Some space.
Here's Tucker.
Able to weave through, and that shot just wide backed up here. Started here with Christensen.
A set play off the end line.
Yes, they had a defender down, able to get back on their feet, reset here. A little bit of a lane, the shot.
That was number 5.
Yeah.
Jack Kincaid.
It's a good look there. This is a good possession for Lone Peak. That one just wide. You see the chase there, backed up again. But getting shots and getting shots through.
Yeah, they're getting shots. They're doing a better job moving the ball. But they don't. I'd like to see them like Logan Bennett for American Fork, getting high, initiating the dodge. Everybody knows that we're running the offense now. Like, everybody move. Sometimes when it's kind of just like, oh, you go, I go, it's hard for everybody else to get in a rhythm and be on the same page what's going on.
That's a tough pass for Denny to get. There was a lot of heat on that, and AF able to come away with it.
Oh, swim
how
move.
About that, huh? Elliot McMurray could play a little D-end. Still here with it for American Fork because we're inside of the final minute of the quarter. Coming around here, Squire working in front, and that saved away. Nice job by Feint there. Well, that's an important save. In the air.
Good ride. Nice job riding by American Fork.
Mooney nearly had that. Lone Peak able to get back on it. Approaching 20 seconds to go here in the quarter. Speed here for Aceves. Nathan weaving through. Tried to dump off in front, just off the mark. And the pass will go the way of American Fork. Final seconds ticking away here in the first. Hey, let's get another shot here. The wind up, and that kept out. Good save there by Feint, and that will do it. The first quarter comes to a close. AF, boy, looking strong on the road. They lead Lone Peak 3-0. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week on KSLSports.com.
With a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Welcome back. Start of the second quarter. Dane Stewart, Scott Kellner with you here. KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. 3-0 American Fork leading Lone Peak. Scott, your thoughts on that first quarter?
I thought American Fork really came out and dominated. They did well on offense. They did well on defense. It shows in the scoreboard, 3-0. Really like the play of Bennett and getting high and start initiating that offense. I think that's something that Lone Peak needs to do a better job of, is initiating that offense and getting everybody to move and play together as a team.
If you were in that Lone Peak huddle, what do you opportunity
Oh,
right
nice.
in front. Boy, they lost American Fork. And the Cavemen know what to do with that one. 4-0.
That was Chaz Mooney,
Your guy.
the second leading point scorer on this American Fork team. And that was what we wanted to see. We wanted to see the guys for American Fork come out and play well, and so far they have. But I think if I was in the huddle for Lone Peak, I would maybe try to tell them to calm down. I feel like they're making sloppy mistakes. I feel like they're not doing a good job of taking care of the ball. I think if they slow down, focus on getting a good clear and getting a good offensive possession, that's what I would have talked about in the huddle.
Good hustle off of that face-off. And still trying to be possessed here. And Lone Peak does come away with it. Nice push there by Anderson. As a flag coming in here. Is this another offside?
I think just the other point that I would mention that we kind of talked about at the start of the game, American Fork doing a good job of controlling possession, not really letting the physicality of Lone Peak come into play with lots of loose balls and things like that.
Oh, nice turnaround.
Oh, wow.
And Lone Peak able to score it. How about the look for Logan Tucker?
That was a nice. That's what we need to see from Lone Peak. We need to see some of those guys start getting involved, and Logan Tucker answering the call right there.
We were talking about initiators, right? And that's one where it's like, look, work your way around, get good position, back it down, quick move in front of the cage, and a nice finish.
Nice finish. Yeah, that was a nice play by Logan Tucker. Happy to see him get on the board.
And they called the slash there is what the penalty was for. So how about that? You finish it off, and now you get an opportunity to go man up here. I think Dupay going to serve time. So one of the face-off guys not in here for American Fork. That could certainly help Lone Peak as they win the face-off. Brinton with space as man up here. What do you like in a good man-up offense, Scott?
Well, I think it's important to – I don't really like having a guy behind the goal very much because then you can just basically play man-to-man above GLE. I think if it's going to be something where you're going to try to sneak a guy from around behind the goal, I think it's okay. I mean, Lone Peak's trying to basically set up for the wheel, but American Fork seems like they're all over it. They're forced to take a time and room shot from the outside. Gould was all over it. But I typically like to see a 3-3 set above the box and then just really sharp, crisp ball movement, maybe with a couple of skip passes or a ball reversal to get the defense to rotate, and then you work the ball the opposite direction.
Beeman, how about that? Pick out of the air. Boy, good extension there by Britton. Wasn't going to let American Fork drain this. That pass through to Clough. As time winding down here. Right in front.
Ooh, nice.
And the finish. Lone Peak scoring, I think, late in the man-up opportunity. As back-to-back goals here for the Knights. Ryder Christensen with the goal.
Kind of an unsettled situation. Just lost track of Christensen. And fortunately, his teammate found him right on the crease.
We do have some rain falling here at Lone Peak High School. It's been kind of threatening all day, and now it's living up to its promise.
But gosh, what a pretty view we have, Dan,
right?
From this press box.
By the way, the first game ever streamed from the new press box at Lone Peak High School.
Oh, wow, that's right. We have that distinguished honor of being the first team to do a game in this press box.
Great facility. They're still working on getting things going. But, man, we're covered. And
I'm very grateful.
Me too, because you can hear the rain.
I just heard it.
This captured here by Feint. And here comes Lone Peak. A lot of room here for Broussard.
Good job on the clear.
Denny working in front.
Beautiful.
Oh, the rip and the shot and the goal.
Beautiful.
I think he was surprised how much room he had. Christopherson recognized it, took it, and finished.
Well, it really started with 37, the pole for Lone Peak. Luke Broussard, who did a nice job advancing the ball upfield, kind of turning. They really didn't have a number situation, but they advanced the ball 2 times. All of a sudden, now there is a number situation. The ball moves faster than feet, and we get a nice man-up or fast break goal right there. Nice job by Broussard to advance the ball in transition.
How about the response from Lone Peak? I mean, we talked about the first quarter. It just didn't look like it was together. They got 3 goals in 2.5 minutes here.
Well, I kind of came in expecting Lone Peak to maybe win this game. I think they look like a little bit better on paper. I was worried about their physicality and their size. But American Fork came out and answered the bell. But, Lone Peak seems to have settled down a little bit and is settling into a groove here. And we got a timeout.
Timeout taken here. I think a good timeout as Lone Peak starting to feel the momentum here. We got a game, 4-3, American Fork leading Lone Peak. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Welcome back. Coming out of the timeout, American Fork will have it. I think that some of that was just as much to save the possession. That was right along the line. Again, Lone Peak starting to build some momentum. I think good timeout there. You can't take them with you. Why not, right?
Right. Yeah, it's always possession timeout, well, especially when you feel the momentum changing. I mean, one thing that I always like to point out is momentum changes in transition. So that last goal that Lone Peak had was really created in transition, and you can kind of feel the momentum shift. All of a sudden, American Fork calls a timeout.
See if American Fork can get back to some of the settledness that we saw in that first quarter. Felt very deliberate and yet purposeful at the same time. Trying to keep this in. Boy, what an athletic save by Fisher. I don't know if it's going to work out the way he had intended. Of course it will, because Bennett Fillmore's there.
Fillmore, Johnny on the spot.
I'm telling you, man, that kid, a quarter plus, but he's been impressive here tonight.
He's good at dodging from up top. I think he's going to try to go from behind the goal here.
Just a junior. Got another year of Bennett Fillmore here in the state. Sizing up here from X, trying to work around Dahl. Nice D there by Seth, pushing him wide.
Nice look across.
Yeah, trying to skip that. Couldn't quite be handled, and coming away with it is Gifford for Lone Peak. Good idea there.
He was open. That was a good look.
Well, that's an aggressive pass. Looking right up the middle. Couldn't be handled, and American Fork on it here, thanks to Beeman. You talk about the physicality. It feels like Lone Peak has found that here.
Yeah, I think it's starting to. You could see it in the clears, on the rides. But I think the more the ball is in Lone Peak's stick, the more the physicality is going to sort of like play into that. If American Fork can control the possession, it won't give them the opportunity to win loose balls and win 50-50 balls, things like that.
Sent up with Denny, now with Clough. Cameron trying to work that right side. Nice D there.
Well, that had a stick on it.
Yeah.
American Fork did.
Picked back up here by Christofferson.
Good look from
Right
the
in
weak side.
front. Oh, that just missed. That's a great look for Britton.
Yeah, you got to put that on cage. That was 8 yards.
Christensen. Boy, tough angle shot there. Backed up here again.
That was number 9 with the shot. Tyler Denny. Logan Tucker. Behind the goal.
You can kind of tell he was wanting that shot. Didn't get it on frame, but backed up here again. Here's Denny. Approaching the 6-minute mark here in this second quarter. It was a 4-0 start for American Fork. 3 unanswered for the Knights. And whistles here. We'll turn it over to American Fork.
I think that was a moving screen. Now there's a flag down.
There was confusion over who that was on, whether we were continuing or not. And now the officials, I think, going to just get some clarity here. They stopped the clock with 6:31 on it here in the stadium. Coach Tucker awaiting an explanation, as is Coach Lisenby.
So I know the change of possession was either a moving screen or interference. But I don't know what the flag is for. I think they picked the flag up.
Yeah, I don't see anyone.
They did throw a flag, but I think they picked it up. There's nobody in the box.
They're going there now.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Christensen is going to serve it.
I'm not sure if it was a conduct penalty or what happened.
Yeah, I'm not certain. There were a couple signals there, and I'm not quite certain which one. And now American Fork man up for the first time and taking advantage.
That was number 32.
And a goal for Dawson Wild. Good execution quickly there for American Fork on the man up.
They moved the ball from the low side of the box up to the middle. The defense really didn't pick up Dawson quickly enough, so he stepped right into that seam. Great shot placement. I love the bounce shots right off the crease. Really hard for the goalie to get down and read that if it's going to bounce high, if it's going to skip low.
Did you play on turf, Scott?
I did play on turf.
How does water, rain, does that make turf play any differently?
Well, I mean, I would prefer playing on turf in rain rather than a field just because it doesn't get muddy. And getting mud on the ball, getting mud in your stick.
But does it speed it up? Like, does the ball play differently?
Oh, yeah, it'll skip more.
Okay.
It'll skip more, I think, on turf. If it gets wet, the ball won't bounce as high.
We do have a flag here, and this was thrown back, I think, near the face-off and afterward. And I believe it's going to be on American Fork here. And it will indeed be on Dupay. He didn't have a lot of argument. And this looks to be non-releasable. So this is a big one here. Contact of the head there. The call. So non-releasable, and Lone Peak with a chance to do some damage here with their offense. This will be Brenton to start it. Tucker.
All 6 offensive players up above GLE.
It looked like they were trying to kind of slip Gifford there on the back side. Straight away wind up, and Gould has it. He has been strong tonight.
He has been strong. It'll be interesting to see how these sticks perform as it gets wetter and wetter. Usually, you know, if you're a hardcore lacrosse player, you might have a rain stick and a dry stick. And so I don't know if these guys, but at the high school level, I don't know if these guys are have 2 sticks, if they have a dry stick and a wet stick. But maybe expect a little bit sloppier stick skills as the rain keeps coming down here.
Second time out of the half, taken here by American Fork. They'll have it man down when we come back.
Mountain Land Power Equipment provides exceptional service and high-quality brands you know and trust in lawn, landscaping, and snow removal products. Our experienced staff of technicians repair all types of snow plows, snow blowers, lawn mowers, small engines, and is trained to answer questions about lawn, garden, snow removal, and landscaping products. Mountain Land Power Equipment, now with 3 locations to serve you in Salt Lake City and Springville.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back. 5.5 to go here, first half. Dean Stewart, Scott Kilner with you. 5-3 American Fork. I've asked a couple of people this question. I'll get your opinion. Our first game together. Do you like just killing off this man-down opportunity, or do you look to be semi-aggressive here offensively?
Well, I think there can be an opportunity. I mean, basically what you always want to try to do is you basically want to give it to your fastest, strongest ball carrier, which they're doing, in Bennett Fillmore. But if he is overplayed, if he does get overplayed, if he can, the risk is if he splits the 2 defenders. If he can somehow, if he gets overplayed and he can split the defense, now he basically has a straight line to the goal. Somebody's going to have to slide and help. And so you have to be really careful when you're doubling the ball because you don't have a lot of backup. But they did a great job of almost killing the penalty. They forced Bennett into a corner.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a no-look pass or if that got checked out. Either way, Lone Peak came away with it. And now the Knights will take a timeout as they're still man up. And Coach Tucker here wanting to make certain that they take advantage of the offensive opportunity. Timeout here, Lone Peak. We'll be back after this.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey. From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials, SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America. Locally owned, locally operated at 5 locations along the Wasatch Front. SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out. Visit a store near you or shop online at slrc.com.
Welcome back. Man up here for Lone Peak. We've got about another minute here on the man up opportunity. Nice feed in front. That's right to the net, though, of Gould. Didn't have to move much.
Yeah, didn't have to move much. Lone Peak's shot placement. They've had a couple that they needed to put on cage. They've had a couple that have gone straight into the stick of the goalie.
Boy, long outlet pass. American Fork coming away with it. Squire. Boy, Luke able to use his speed. He's got a little bit of a lane here. Has help, too, and Fisher goes to the ground, and that kept out by feint.
That was good effort there by Squire, though.
Well, and it's exactly what you were saying, right? It's like, hey, run around. If you have the opportunity, it might show itself. Try to take advantage. Well executed. Just a nice stop. Here's Tate Fisher with it. Had the 2 opening goals. He's looking for the hat trick. That riser over the crossbar.
Flag down. I think you're going to say it's a late hit.
Yeah. Had about another 10 seconds on the man up, I believe. And
maybe a push with possession? You're not allowed to push a player in the back, either with possession or on a loose ball, kind of like blocking in the back in football. And so I think that's what the call is going to be, is that Fisher was pushed. Illegal body check. Okay. it's up to everything's up to interpretation.
Well, and that's the hard thing, right? Is that like, as a newcomer to lacrosse, I feel like some calls there's similarities, and it's kind of like, which do you want to make? Because it's like push with possession.
It's like a 30-second where a legal body check is going to be like a minute or something.
Yeah.
So you kind of, depending on how egregious it is, if the
I think
game's being
there's
too
some
physical.
subjectiveness to it,
Yeah,
right?
there certainly is.
American Fork, they capitalized on a man-up opportunity earlier in this second quarter.
There's actually been a surprising amount of penalties, I feel like, in this game.
Yeah, I tried to get it to Tate there, and I don't know if he maybe took his eyes off of it a little quickly. Pass turned over, and it is now into the man-up opportunity for American Fork. About 50 seconds left. I think this is Britton with it up top for Lone Peak. Bringing on reinforcements with Denny and Clough. And my bad, I think that we're back to even.
Yeah.
I thought that was a minute, but it might have only been 30 seconds. A wind up, the bounce shot there. That might have hit post as well. It had a high ricochet. If it was Gould, that stung.
Oh, nice job by Logan Tucker to come down on the ride. And that's going to be white ball.
It does feel like there's a different step in Lone Peak in this second quarter compared to the first. Boy, we're trying to get that to Christensen right in front.
He was in the crease.
The outlet here.
Oh, nice job by Logan again.
And that was just out. And they'll give it to Lone Peak.
Lone Tucker just all over the place on the ride. Not letting American Fork get the ball over the midfield line.
Here's Clough. Worked back with Christensen. Card out there to defend. Tough pass. Boy, played well there by Britton to keep it. Coming back to the middle. Bounce shot
nice.
and a goal. Big rip for Lone Peak as they pull back to within one on the goal there by Christofferson.
Yeah, that was a great shot and play by Christofferson. Got into the middle of the field. Just a nice left-handed, sort of like low three-quarter arm skipper off the turf. That was a great shot, great placement by Christofferson. Getting into the middle of the field is always so important. Increasing your angle, give yourself the whole cage to work with.
We'll head back here to the face-off.
And Christofferson has a cannon. I'd like to see some more of that from Christofferson.
That had some quickness. A check there, jarring it loose, and Lone Peak had it there for a moment with Dahl. But recaptured here by the Cavemen. Nice pursuit there by Mooney. But Lone Peak taking it back. Here comes Broussard. All right in front. Well, that's good defensive recovery there. There's a flag coming here from the backside. Britton will work this out. 80 seconds left here in the half.
And they have a free possession.
Yeah. Tucker, boy, just holding that.
Wow.
And Gould had to fight that one off. Makes the save, and now we'll get the call. That felt like one of those where it doesn't look like a tough save, but that's a tough save for Gould.
That shot right there?
That shot right there.
Yeah. That was. Logan had his defender all over his side, did a great job of hiding his stick behind his body, kind of like screening it. Really hard for Gould to get eyes on the ball as it comes out of the stick. And that wasn't far from going. Almost hit top left corner.
It is a technical here on Genesee, so it'll be 30-second man up for Lone Peak. Tucker back up here with Britton. Jackson going to take the shot and score it. Goes high corner. We're tied up at 5.
Boy, yeah, Jackson Britton. They did a nice job of doing a little triangle up at the top. Britton kind of like slotted down. They did a little rotation. The defender came in as the wing midi cut in. The defender kind of came with him, gave Britton a bunch of time there to step down, receive the pass, quick release.
I mean, you're just kind of setting up that one-timer, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're just going to slowly kind of work this over, quick pass, catch, shoot.
Boom.
You know, one of the things that was surprising to me when I was doing my prep for the game, coming into this one, Lone Peak had 153 goals. Not bad through 14 games. 112 assists. I mean, they assist
that's a lot.
on most of their goals. Like
that's a lot. I think even 50%. 50% is probably about an average number.
Yeah.
And that's well over 50%.
Well over. We got a timeout here. The last 1.5 taken by Lone Peak. 50 seconds to go. Tie ball game here in our Region 4 finale.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Welcome back. I'll tell you, all the timeouts today have been quick, which I love. Like, let's play.
Let's play. Let's let the kids play.
Yeah. 50 seconds to go here in the half. Lone Peak has it. Looking for their first lead of the game. Wind up there, the shot, 5-hole, scored by Christofferson, and Lone Peak takes the lead.
Christofferson on his run to his left is a capable shooter. Both of those shots just running full speed into the middle of the field, low and away from the goalie on Gould. Tough saves. Not much the defense could really do. I mean, they just need to start sending slides. They need to have a slide package ready. They need to start sliding to Christofferson.
It's now a 6-1 run for Lone Peak.
Yeah.
Talk about you could start to feel that momentum building. Been a strong second quarter. The rain coming down a little stronger here.
This is an important face-off.
You're getting ready to
American
go
Fork.
full scrum there.
Luke Squire. I got to get a dodge going here. Get it to Bennett.
Well, I was going to say, it feels like Bennett Fillmore, he really hasn't had many opportunities to engage because most of the possession second quarter has been held by Lone Peak.
Yeah.
Clock down to 15.
This is Squire behind the goal.
Yeah. Good defense there by Dahl. Clock inside of 10. Bouncing through, picked up. Might have one more look. Fillmore going to wind up. The shot just wide, and that will do it for the first half. AF gets a great look, but despite the start, they'll head to the break, trailing Lone Peak 6-5. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week on the Rewind Sports Network.
It all starts with a smile. To show you care, offer a sign of love, welcome someone home. Even when we don't see each other, or share a room, even without words, smiles bring us together. Let's keep yours healthy. Stonehaven Dental. Schedule online at stonehavendental.com.
Welcome back. Getting ready to start the second half. Dane Stewart, Scott Kellner with you. Lone Peak leading American Fork 6-5. Boy, how the turntables have turned. Scott, it was a 4-goal start for American Fork, and next thing you know, Lone Peak with an impressive second quarter.
Well, I think we guys like Christofferson, some of these other guys, these point scorers for this Lone Peak team, they decided to show up in the second quarter. And the first quarter was all about American Fork sort of dominating time and possession and getting in a better groove offensively. The second quarter was all about Lone Peak doing that same thing.
If you're American Fork, we talk about first quarter, the possession they dominated. It didn't feel like they had much in the second quarter. How do you get back to getting more possession?
Well, I think it starts at the faceoff X. I think you got to be physical on the faceoff X. Lone Peak is a very good ground ball team, so you got to start by winning faceoffs, and then I think from there you need to go down, play with that same sort of focus that you had in the first quarter on offense, and try to control time and possession.
The call will give it here to American Fork, and you can even see there Lone Peak has brought that physicality to the faceoffs, and that's been a big change. Here's Squire, worked up here with Fillmore. Chance for Bennett to create, which he did so well in that first quarter. And we really haven't seen Tate Fisher. I mean, I think he had the goal in the second, right? No, he missed it. It sailed. We haven't seen him score since the first.
Yeah, no, American Fork I don't think they only had one goal in the second quarter. So
yep. Here's Tate. Got around. Nice unselfish play there, but that
Right
pass
out of
off the
bounds.
mark. Yep. So Lone Peak back on it here. Working up. Clough.
great outlet pass.
Still on it here. Cam going to work behind. He's got Christensen there with him. He'll work this out instead with Tucker. Logan absorbing. Nowhere to go. AF very well positioned there defensively. Finds his guy. That riser from Christofferson out of play and backed up.
With a guy like Christofferson, I can understand why Logan Tucker is one of the leading assist players in the state.
Right.
Just throw it to that guy.
Yeah.
He missed the cage that time, but it was a great shot.
Yep. Up top here, Tucker. Trying to split. Christensen. Big wind up there.
Ooh, saved by
taken
Gould.
away. Yeah. Tracked that well. Trying to go 5-hole there. American Fork. Trying to work up here with Lisenby. Tykert working through. Oh, he's got a man ahead. That pass just a step in front of Squire, and I thought he might have been able to get there. He might have misjudged the speed on that pass. And Lone Peak will start it. Turnover there for American Fork. That pass a little tall. And Card over pursued it. Look out. Oh, trying to get it to Tucker. Logan couldn't keep that.
Yeah, both teams turning it over in transition early in the start of the second half.
Here's Lisenby. That pass ricocheted off. Fillmore trying to keep it here. Threw it back in. Boy, this is bouncing all over the place. One-on-one and taken away by Feint. Wow. What a save. Hudson finding his groove. Now Lone Peak in transition. Right in front. Tucker the bounce shot over the cage and backed up.
Good hustle by Gould there to try to win that inline ball.
How about opportunities in front of the goals on each end?
Yeah, exciting. Both teams getting good looks right in front of the crease.
Christensen and taken away again there by Gould. There was that 3-minute spurt to start the second quarter. A couple goals got by him. Gould's been impressive today.
Yeah, making good saves. They're making good outlet passes.
Yeah. Wild with it. That kept in. We're playing gray lines. They're a little hard to see. That one did stay in. We can verify that. Fisher still on it. Working outside. Good defense here by Lone Peak. We thought both these defenses would be strong today. Trying to get one in front. Smothered there by Hudson.
Yeah, American Fork can get a better shot than that. Luke Squire, shovel shot coming around the crease.
We've got a penalty here. And it will be man up here. I was thinking for Lone Peak, but I'm not seeing anyone into the penalty area there yet. We started with American Fork. Lone Peak is a man down. I just don't. Oh, they're hidden. Can't see them, but they're there. American Fork man up here. Big rip from Fisher and the goal.
Nice.
Tate Fisher back in the scoring column. We're tied up at 6.
Yeah, Fisher, great time and room shot. Set his feet, let it rip. Great ball placement.
We talked about he had those 2 goals early on. Big ones for Tate.
Yeah, hat trick on the day now.
Yeah. So tied up at 6. As off the face-off, American Fork with the win. This one trickling near side. Oh, nice play there. Kind of see the reach there of McMurray, just kind of stopped it and allowed him to retreat and regather.
Luke Squire subbing on kind of late. Bennett behind the goal.
Oh, good
look.
find right in front. And the save. Boy, I don't know if Hudson got that or not. It was right in front. I couldn't tell if it came out maybe late on the shot attempt.
Yeah. It was a little hard to see, but if that was a save by Fain or if he didn't really get the shot off.
If it was a save by Hudson, I mean, that's a top play of the week right there. But that one could have just not come out cleanly, too. And now Lone Peak pushing ahead. Denny. Here's Christensen. Tucker. Here's Denny and Gould there.
That was a good take. It was just better saved by Gould. On the run, decent angle, decent position. Ooh, very physical. Lone Peak is very physical on the ride.
Yeah.
They do a good job of putting a lot of pressure on the defense to clear the ball.
Well, and that's one where you hope there's communication on Gould because he turned around and bam, right there was Christofferson. American Fork with another chance to set it up here. Past the midway point in this third quarter. Region finale. Both these two teams have one more game on the season. American Fork will take on Farmington next week, and Lone Peak will take on Skyline. good games to close out the regular season. That AF Farmington one will be a good battle. Farmington's good year this year. Oh, nice
inside
spin.
roll.
Right in front, and that taken away.
Johnny on the spot there, number 15 for Logan Peak, Ashton Gifford. Doing a good job being his outlet for his keeper there.
Britton able to work this ahead. He's got some space now. Showing some patience. Good decision there. Here's Kincaid with it for Lone Peak. Back with Christensen. Kincaid again. Nice setup. Help coming over, trying to feed that in front. Pass couldn't be handled.
Yeah, did a good job drawing the slide. Just kind of, I think maybe some of the wetness is, getting to those sticks, threw the ball right to the ground.
Genesee working up through the middle. This is Lisenby. Did you get this back to Tate Fisher and just say, hey, we want you to create here again? We got a whistle here. I think might have had an early substitution and tried to keep that in play.
Yeah, all he did was point. I don't really know. He just blew this whistle and pointed. It's going the other way.
Picked up here by Kincaid. Boy, Jack. He's absorbing contact here right in front and saved by Gould.
Lost his helmet.
Yeah, we'll get whistles here. There's about 2.5 to go here. We'll get that clock fixed for you. Just got a little ahead there. That's manual clocks. They're not the easiest thing. And appreciate our staff here helping us stay true on that. As American Fork starting with it. Gould here. Working out. Some room here. Genesee. As he ran through and now back with Fillmore.
Yeah, I'd like to see them get back to what they were doing in the first quarter. Just these big, long dodges from Bennett Fillmore.
Trying to shake off the long pole of Broussard there.
Ooh.
It's a tough pass. I think it was Wakefield trying to retreat and gather it there in the air now. And that kicked wide and out. And it'll stay here. Fisher will start it. Yep. The windup, the shot and feint. Boy, great job there.
It was a little early in the possession to take a shot like that, but
And
nice
far
job
out,
by feint.
right?
Yeah, and far out. Giving Lone Peak most likely, or at least the opportunity to have the last possession of the third quarter.
Here comes Denny. Just one goal scored here in the third. It seems kind of weird.
It's been a little bit of a sloppy game. Yeah, it's been this third quarter has been a little sloppy. A lot of turnovers. Some good defense though.
Yeah.
And forced turnovers, good rides, great. Lone Peak's done a good job riding the ball so far this third quarter.
And some nice saves.
And some nice saves from the goalies too, yeah.
Inside of a minute to go here in the third. Britton playing back out. Here's Aceves. Got around and scoring it. It's the junior, Nathan Aceves, with the goal as Lone Peak retakes the lead. Boy, I like the aggressive nature there by Aceves.
I loved it. It was a great take, great play.
Boy, and that hit off of, I think, the helmet as that bounces out. 30 seconds left here. We saw Lone Peak with a late goal to close out that first half. Can they get a late goal here in the third. Christensen to start it. But they're trying to get those eyes moving. I like the idea there, but American Fork working to clear, and the flag coming on here will stop it with about 12 seconds left here. AF will go man up. That's a tough one. You're trying not to allow the transition play, and the stick just gets mixed up. 30-second technical here. So if you're AF, do you just hold this and start the fourth with possession?
I think that's probably, with 12 seconds left, down one, I think probably starting with possession would be preferred. And that seems to be what they're going to do.
Yeah, we had some parents asking them to go, but I think that's probably what I would do too. So the third quarter expires, 1 goal each side. Lone Peak with the lead, 7-6. Fourth quarter coming up next. Welcome back. Dane Stewart, Scott Kilner with you. Thought it'd be low scoring. Has been 7-6. American Fork man up. They'll start with the possession here in this fourth quarter. And see if they can come up with a big road region win. A win here for AF would tie for second in the region. A win for Lone Peak. And they need some help. Outside chance of the region title should Corner lose in their region finale. Probably not likely. But you never know.
You never know. I mean, upsets do happen.
Yeah, of course, RPI seeding big. Lone Peak was 4th in RPI coming into this one. American Fork 8th. Fillmore thought about it. He'll move this across. Rip there by Fisher. Backed up here. That was deflected. Yeah. And now Lone Peak with a chance to escape. Here's Spencer Bate.
He's fast.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? I'm like, where's 17 been tonight? I don't remember calling his name. Good push there. Sent out with Brenton as they bring Denny on. Clough coming on here as well for Lone Peak. Who do you like offensively for the Knights in this fourth quarter, Scott?
I think I'd like to see Tate Fisher or Christofferson. Christofferson really kind of caught fire in that second and third quarter. Just a really strong lefty shooter, good dodger.
Tough pass there for Christensen to handle as Lone Peak turns it over And now American Fork, boy, all sorts of room here for the Cavemen as Lone Peak rushing players on. Well, I want Genesee to go finish it. Tate will toss that back here to Fillmore. And now over with Squire.
Something that I think American Fork was doing in the first quarter that they, hope maybe they're doing it now is just attacking earlier in the possession. A little bit too much time trying to sub guys on, a little bit too much time standing around, but pretty sharp ball movement right here.
Yeah. Trying to
nice.
feed it in front, and the goal.
Beauty. With the flag.
You could kind of see that because that slide comes. It's like, now you got numbers if you can move it, right? Yeah. And AF finishing.
Great job by Fillmore, starting the dodge. I love those big, long dodges by Fillmore. Really get the offense set up.
Tied up at 7. And you mentioned it, Scott, a flag coming in on the play as well. So American Fork with a chance to potentially do some damage as we await this call. Yeah, cross check there. So it'll be a 1-minute man up here for American Fork after they just tied it at 7. And Brandon Dupay, who was so strong at faceoffs to start. Lone Peak's done a nice job responding to that. But Dupay's over 500 on the year. Chance for him. This is a big faceoff for American Fork being man up. And yeah, the whistle there will give it to the Cavemen. Uh-oh. Fisher. Ooh. You can kind of see
he was into that one.
Yeah, he was chomping at the bit for that opportunity.
I think he took 3 crow hops.
That was
nice.
Top corner. It's Luke Squire with the goal and the lead back to American Fork. More than just Tate Fisher to this American Fork offense.
Yeah, Luke Squire. That was nice shot, nice placement. Good job. Just good ball movement. Good ball movement, getting it around to Squire. Defender gave him too much room, and Squire had all the time to figure out where exactly he wanted to place that ball, get it past Feint, the keeper for Lone Peak.
American Fork makes Lone Peak pay on the penalty. 8-7. Kind of mentioned, I thought 8 might be the magic number for the offenses tonight.
Push.
Probably a little low, and now American Fork really starting to find success in the faceoffs. Well, back to the first quarter success here in the fourth for American Fork.
I thought it was going to be an important part of the game for American Fork to come out on top, and we're seeing that play out in the fourth quarter.
Well, you mentioned it. That was going to be the way to kind of counter some of the physicality of Lone Peak, right?
Mm.
Big wind up there by Fisher, just wide, backed up here. Boy, a little room there for Fillmore. Here's Squire. Being pushed wide by Brenton. Brenton lost his footing. Have numbers here. Squire right in front of the roll. And I think that hit iron as well. And Hudson able to gather it. Ooh, we'll keep it here with American Fork.
I didn't see what it was.
All right.
I missed it.
Uh-oh. Opportunity, and Hudson tracked it well on the shot there by Dawson Wild. And that pass.
Not handled.
Yeah. Picked up here by Tucker. Logan with some room, has help. Logan, the shot on the goal. Lone Peak ties it up thanks to the senior, Logan Tucker. Oh, there was a flag.
Yeah.
That just got thrown up. And I did see Tucker into a bit of a roll after the goal, so I don't know if there was maybe a late check. It does appear as though Lisenby is in the penalty area here for American Fork. So, yeah, I think Lone Peak now going to go man up after netting the tying goal.
Definitely a lot of penalties today on both
Yes.
teams. I guess it's not to be unexpected. Two physical teams and a big regional matchup with playoff implications. But
And I think we have penalties on each side. I think I saw them with the Lisenby. I think they called a check. And then I saw them point to the Lone Peak side, but I didn't see the call. And Coach Tucker here trying to get an explanation from the officials. Both teams with all their timeouts remaining in this half, and now the officials going to come together here to discuss once again. I think clarity on whatever that Lone Peak call was is what is being sought. So I think we had a cross check on one end and maybe an elbowing on the other. Is elbowing one? It was kind of like the elbow high.
that's illegal body check.
Okay, illegal body check. That's why we have guys like Scott here with us, right?
It's its own sign language.
Yeah, it is. Very much so. Still haven't seen a Lone Peak player. Well, now there's two American Fork players. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's only four guys. They're two-man down.
Yeah, so it was two penalties, but both were on American Fork. Lisenby the one, Levitt the other. And so, boy, a big opportunity here for Lone Peak to retake the lead. Back up top, work to the angle. Boy, good quick movement by American Fork here defensively. There's a little room in front, skipped out. Well, you can't fault the ball movement, but my goodness, American Fork, that's about as good as you can play defensively in that situation.
Yeah, did a good job of trying to force a shot from the outside. They got one down low, but Gould smothered it. So American Fork is able to come away with a stop and a chance to kill this penalty.
Boy, that'd be so big. You're two-man down, tie game, fourth quarter.
Ooh, unforced turnover there.
What you don't want to do in that situation, although it looks like time has been served back to even strength here. So American Fork does what it needed to. Killed off the man down with 7 minutes to go here. Denny back with Britton. Little room there as saw Dollar collapse down. Here's Denny.
Good defense.
Christensen.
Ooh, draws the slide, flag down.
Yeah, you kind of saw Tucker go to adjust that helmet.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Multiple flags here. Boy, and Tucker, that jersey's offset. The helmet had to be kind of rearranged. He paid the price for this one. There's officials again here conversing. Want to let you know, KSL Sports Rewind is your home for postseason lacrosse. We'll have playoff games, of course, last week, the last week of the regular season, and then take you all the way to state championships for both boys and girls in 4A, 5A, and 6A. We'll have all that action for you right here on KSLSports.com.
Playoff lacrosse is exciting, Dave.
It is. Last year, out at Zions Bank Stadium for the championships and had the overtime long pole game winner for Green Canyon was phenomenal. Corner and American Fork were in a battle. Corner pulled away late. And then Olympus Park City, man, that was a instant classic. Olympus led almost the entire game. Park City scoring a couple goals late, take the late lead, and win a state title. And Olympus have been playing all year like that game still hurts them because they have been just, I don't even know the word, dominated Corner Canyon.
I think they beat Park City earlier this week.
Yes, yep. I think by 10 goals.
Yeah, I heard that it was a wide margin.
And that was about the difference of them versus Corner, too.
Yeah, Olympus playing at a really high level.
Still undefeated this season are the Olympus Titans. They were undefeated last year until that state championship game. As clarification again here, you talk about the number of penalties we've seen. They're really adding up here in this fourth quarter.
I wish we were keeping track, Dan. It seems like there's more penalties than goals at this point.
Yeah. So the call here is on American Fork. Lone Peak will be man up. It looks like just one penalty here on the play. And I didn't see a signal for non-releasable, so but we're still getting clarification here. I almost need to get players restretched. We're started. 6 to play here in the fourth. Tied up, man up for Lone Peak. Britton, given to Tucker. Good movement. Oh, Gould. Maybe his biggest save of the night there, Scott?
That was a big save. Great. Christofferson had a lot of time and room, and it was a good shot by Christofferson, but a better save by Gould.
That's exactly the look Lone Peak wants.
Yeah.
And now we've got a timeout taken here by American Fork. Timeout, Cavemen, 5.5 to go. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's Game of the Week. Welcome back. American Fork to start it while we were at timeout. Officials and both coaches were all gathered together. We talked about the penalties adding up. I don't know what the discussion was about. It wouldn't have surprised me if it was all getting on the same page. But we're, I think, good to go. Thought we were good to go. Still got a little delay here trying to work through something. Do we have, yeah, AF is still man down. But it looks like they've got multiple guys in the box, doesn't it?
I think it's... just number 43.
Well, I think there's someone to the right of him.
Oh, yeah.
I think there's 2 guys down because they only got
right.
4 up.
They only have 4 out on the field, so you're right.
And I did not see a call. I don't know if it was during the timeout or after.
It's tough for Bennett Fillmore. I'd probably just chuck it in the corner.
Being hard there. Tate Fisher coming away with it. You got numbers here
lucky.
for American Fork. Fisher, the wind, and
goodness.
that's just off. Woo!
That was a very fortunate ground ball for Tate Fisher. Turned that into a great opportunity.
Boy, you go from just kill it off to looking for a lead.
I mean, I would definitely try to keep the ball behind the goal. No reason to try to run it up above GLE.
Well, you got a lot of space, right? There's a wind up and that's
shot.
taken away. Trying to beat the feet there of Hudson.
Yeah, Bennett Fillmore. Nice opportunity.
And we got another timeout here, taking this one by Lone Peak. 4:50 to go. Timeout Knights. Welcome back. Tie game. 8 apiece. Scott, what's been the thing that's maybe stood out to you most tonight?
I think some of the guys on American Fork, Fisher has been great. I think I like Bennett. I think some of the players on American Fork are really playing well. And but I think Gould in goal for American Fork has had some really great saves. Has definitely kept his team in the game.
Well, and Feint as well, right? I think both goalies have been really impressive tonight. Certainly like to see that if you're a fan of the respective sides with playoffs around the corner. Region 4 always so tough. It looks to be that way again this year. Coming around the rip here. That was wide. Backed up by Christensen.
Christopherson on the run, too, has also been impressive.
Yeah. Coming around. And that one pushed wide by Gould. I got Grandma Gold earlier in the year. I wasn't going to bite on that one. I was very patient on that one. Here's Card. Played up with Squire. Oh, that's a nice spin.
Good look down.
I'm kind of surprised they pulled that out.
Yeah, could have been a good shot. Maybe just felt like couldn't get his hands free. The defender was kind of all over him.
Deflected out, and see some of the American Fork staff saying, guys, just calm down, right? We don't have to rush ourselves. We can be very patient here, get the right look.
Plenty of time. Just don't make an unforced turnover.
Here's Fisher. Back up with Squire. No shot clock here, so. Everything spread out for the Cavemen. Fisher with it now up top. 3 goals tonight for Tate.
Yep. He's had some good looks, too. I mean, he could have easily had 4 or 5.
Yep. Oh, that jarred loose. And then Tate, his stick, lost it. Lone Peak now.
They got numbers in
yes,
transition.
Yes, they do. Right in front, skipped across, intercepted by Lisenby. Great stick work by Tiger to come back. Boy, physicality here, trying to push wide. Walking that tightrope. American Fork with an opportunity. Dawson, the wind, and the save by Hudson. And a flag here on the check. Boy, right after that shot, you saw Dawson Wild absolutely take a lick. And the flag coming on here, the penalty will go against Lone Peak.
Yeah, pretty fun, 2 fun plays in transition. And the defense comes up big on both sides.
Boy, it's just good to see Wild up. That was a tough hit to take.
But the penalties continue.
Yeah. Yeah, illegal body check there, the call. So 1 minute man up here for American Fork. They've been good on man up opportunities tonight, Scott.
I think they do a good job of moving the ball.
Yeah.
They do a good job of moving the ball. It's all about just crisp passes, keeping it in the box. You always want the ball to be high. If you can catch it high, you can throw it high. If you start throwing the ball below the shoulder, it takes time to pick the stick back up and throw a pass. So you want your passing to be crisp on man up, and American Fork's done a good job of that.
Did you take your last time out here?
I don't know, 2.5 minutes. It's, they're doing a stick check.
Oh, wow.
Whose stick is that? Who's not holding a stick?
Yeah, I feel like everyone on the field has one.
Yeah.
It could be a bench player. It could be.
Oh, 32.
It could be Wild, right?
Could be Wild.
He's being looked at by the trainer. I don't see a stick around him.
It's because he walked that tightrope, the tightrope. They're like, how did he hold on to it?
Because he's got skills. Stick check looked to be okay. It was Wild stick as he's got it back. So we get ready to go. 2.5 left. Man up here for 1 minute for the Cavemen in a tied Region 4 contest.
This is, as an offensive player, this is the kind of stuff you dream about. Man up, 4th quarter, big game.
Yep. Thrown back up here with Fillmore. About 40 seconds left on the man up. Fisher works out up top with Fillmore. Boy, not a lot inside. Lone Peak doing a good job. Fillmore again. About 15 seconds left here. Fisher coming around, and that one swept away by Hudson.
It's a big ground ball.
Yeah, still in. Captured here by Wakefield. Final seconds on the man up. Bennett working wide. Penalty killed off. Back to even strength. Fisher, the wind. And the goal. Tate Fisher with the lead for American Fork.
Wow, that was a big shot. That was a big play. Fisher just good shooter. Good shooter. Got that one past Fain.
That's his 43rd goal of the season. The first one, he just missed. Hudson kind of swept it. He wasn't going to miss that one. 1:20 left. American Fork back in front.
Sometimes that can be sort of a dangerous time when a penalty gets released and it's like you're still kind of man down. You haven't fully recovered. And the defense is you have to be careful in those situations, and Tate was able to take advantage of it.
This face-off. Still trying to be captured. And American Fork coming away with it. It's Genesee. Numbers for the Cavemen in front, the shot on the goal, and it's a 2-goal lead for American Fork.
That was number 17, Easton Wakefield. Nice job by Wakefield there.
Boy, and how about the find from Genesee? I love, look, you get it off the face-off, you get out quickly, try to take advantage of an opportunity they do.
It's powerful when you have a face-off guy that can create. When you can create offense on the face-off X, that's a really great advantage to have. And, you know, a big part of, I think, why American Fork has been able to take the lead in this game.
The largest lead since the start of the second quarter. Back and forth the majority of the night. Back-to-back goals.
Another one.
20 seconds. And we have a timeout. American Fork calling the timeout here. They grant possession. Timeout Cavemen with a minute to go. Final minute when we come back. Welcome back here. Final minute. American Fork with the possession. We talked about face-off started strong in the fourth, but these last couple minutes have been critical for American Fork from the spot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's doing a great job controlling the face-off, giving offensive opportunities off of the face-off, along with the great shooting from Tate Fisher. American Fork's up 2-0, and another flag down.
Yeah, he
slashes on Fisher.
Trying another shot there. Hudson able to save it, but to your point, Scott, the flag and American Fork now sensing they've got this one put away. How about the response? They started 4-0. Lone Peak comes back. They take a 6-5 lead into the break and felt like they had all the momentum in the world. But this fourth quarter, AF, they've found that gear they had to start the game.
Yeah, I think they could have totally rolled over in that third quarter when Christofferson was getting hot but they've stuck in there. They've held in there and done a good job.
So Lone Peak man down. Fisher here, just holding. It's going to be the tightest crit you'll see.
Oh, double.
Yeah, a double team trying to jar it loose, and it will. Now here come the Knights. Done. Oh, and that pass couldn't be connected. Rolling through. And we've got a flag down here at midfield. Just 14 seconds left. The penalty's not quite done. Illegal body check here going to be the call. So what will be hopefully the final penalty? Only 14 seconds left.
Still a lot of time, Dane.
With this second half, yes, that is a true statement. Lone Peak will start it. Not out of the realm, but you don't have really any seconds to mess around here. You got to score in the next 4 or 5 seconds. They start it. Gotta go. Ooh, Britton. That's saved by Gould. He'll heave it as the final seconds tick off. American Fork comes on the road in a 2-game losing streak. They take care of business against their rival, and they get the win over Lone Peak 10-8. Scott, your final thoughts and a selection of our player of the game.
I was really impressed with American Fork. I thought they did a great job executing on offense in the first quarter and then again in the fourth quarter. I think they could have rolled over and kind of given the game to Lone Peak when Lone Peak was really building up momentum, and it seemed like some of their players, really started playing well. Tate Fisher, Logan Tucker, not Tate Fisher, Logan Tucker and Christopherson really playing well in that third quarter. But I think my player of the game probably goes to Gould. Gould, the keeper for American Fork, made some great saves, really played consistent all game, had some good outlet passes too. I thought that and the combination of Gould's goalie play, the face-off play by the face-off team for American Fork, and then Tate Fisher for American Fork, who had 4 goals on the day, too. So really, I think good contributions from all areas of the American Fork team. A little bit more balanced performance from the entire team, I think.
Defenses were really strong. I thought both goalies were great. Gould was phenomenal again tonight. Tate with the 4 goals and the game winner. American Fork 10-8 as they improve to 9-3 on the year. Both teams, American Fork and Lone Peak, will finish 3-2 and in second place here in Region 4 as Region 4 play comes to a close. Want to thank you for joining us. A reminder, we got